We are back live. Are we live this morning?
We're pretty live.
We're pretty live. We're alive on this roasting.
Toasting.
Dude, it is a roasting Monday morning. I mean, third day.
Yeah, it's been a hot weekend.
Third day of the 100 degrees or more. And not only are we roasting, they are roasting from coast to freaking coast. There's a heat wave. When the weather comes up on the news, the whole map is freaking orange and pink. And for people that don't know pink, pink is pretty freaking hot. When it goes past orange, starts getting into white and pink, we're toasting, man. So, coast to coast, heat wave, giving a whole new meaning to the term to our friends back in Boston. Boston baked beans. Man, they're smoking back there. 50. Not only do we have record-breaking temperatures coast to coast, we're having floods right in the middle of it. And I know it's like, wait a minute, you're having floods and you're having heat waves? Hold on. Yes, we are. They've got 25 dead in Kentucky, the governor said on Saturday. That's sweeping through, and it's the poorest areas of Kentucky anyway. So all the people they lose their homes, whole cities. They had flooding in Vegas on the Strip. Kind of gives a whole new meaning to open container. Ooh, riding the rapids down the Las Vegas Strip. Flagstaff, Phoenix, monsoon time. So it must be pretty odd to have it in Phoenix, 110 during the day, and then all of a sudden it's monsoon and you're flooding, and then it's 110.
If it was here, we'd be loaded in mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. You know, and people always are saying, well, you know, it's just this and it's just that. I told you I ran into Art Alt. All my viewers, you should all know who Art Alt is. Art Alt used to be the chief, he is the smartest guy. His head was so big because he was so smart. He had a bigger head. He was a science professor, science department, had every degree there is at the University of Great Falls, which is now the University of Providence. I seen him at McDonald's. I said, Art, what do you think of the global warming? He just glared at me and said there's no global warming, no matter how hot we think it's getting. He says, we're just headed for our next extinction event. If you remember, viewers, 3 weeks ago, I was talking about the same thing. So I asked Art, is this natural? He says it is. Is it man-made? He says it is. So we're roasted. We're having flash floods. It's 100. We're going to be at the fair. It's supposed to be, 194 the day we're going to be at the fair?
Yeah, we'll hydrate.
Yeah, we'll hydrate, all right.
Yeah.
The big news, besides the flooding and the heat wave, is, of course, we're welcome, bing, 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 to the recession. All last week. We are in a recession. It's official. Everybody get your scorecards out. And we are, all right, recession, predictable. What is a recession, first of all? It's a downward trend in spending, borrowing, pretty much.
Yeah, well, they're saying negative growth for
negative growth.
quarters.
So we're not growing. Why do people spend less? Because stuff costs too freaking much. Inflation. So we've been in double-digit inflation damn near 9.1 is just close enough. Predictable. Once inflation goes up, I quit spending. Once I quit spending, we go into a recession. Is the recession horrible news? It's not good news. Since the Civil War, our country, since the Confederation, our country has gone through 48 recessions. So they're not unheard of. I hear some people, oh, but it's no big deal. It is. And I've heard other people saying, oh, but the sky is falling. It's not. It makes things more difficult. What causes the recession? Oil prices, food prices, stimulus checks up the ass, supply chain, cost of diesel. They upped the prime 2 times in 2 months. What did you expect was going to happen? Everybody's going, oh boy, we upped the prime again. Let's go do brunch. You're not going to be able to afford brunch anymore, all right? You got to realize that it's a natural cycle. It will last a while. I don't know how it's going to last. I remember that I've been through a couple recessions. The biggest one that comes to mind is the 70s gas lines and the craziness of the 70s when we were in high school and getting out of high school. It was nuts. It'll pass. It'll be difficult. The gas lines, like I said, what you can do, well, once you're in a recession because of inflation, some of the stuff is done for you. Like the prime's been raised twice, so it's going to be harder to borrow, to buy a house, to buy a car. And speaking of car prices, you guys that are selling used cars, especially in Great Falls, Montana, you ought to be freaking ashamed of yourself. 180,000 miles. Yeah, it's a $100,000 rig. It's got highway miles. Excuse me. Isn't driving the piss out of it like a NASCAR driver a little worse for it than city driving? I went out and looked at it. It is ridiculous. That is inflation recession. The car dealers in town know you need a car. They know now that the prime's been raised twice, so they're going to sell you a truck with 200,000 miles on it, highway miles only, for about $100,000. That's recession. That's local businesses doing their part. So don't buy a car. Don't buy a truck. Don't buy a house. Don't get any food. Don't fill up your car with gas. La-di-da. No. Just like the 70s. Just like when, the first Bush, Senior Bush, it was rough there too. Knuckle down. We knuckled down, got the job done. So, you can blame Biden, point fingers, complain, yell the chicken little, the sky is falling, and guess what? Bread prices ain't coming down. So get off your ass, get a job, get some work, stimulate the economy instead of social media. It's bad, but it's not going to last forever. Did Jimmy Carter last forever? No, Andy, Jimmy Carter's still building houses, isn't he?
I think so.
I stand corrected. Jimmy Carter did last forever. Hi.
At least he's doing something constructive now.
Constructive, yeah, building a house. And I think he's old. He's old. Speaking of old, I got to comment on something. I seen a big scoop this weekend that happened Thursday where they caught Donald Trump at the golf course without his makeup on and got some pictures.
Oh, no.
Well, first of all, I didn't see a goblin, a mean person, anything like that. The reason the pictures garnish so much of attention is, Jennifer Aniston is out and about. She doesn't wear makeup. Oh my God, let's get pictures of her and it's a scoop. And the press will pay pictures of that sort better than the other. I played hockey growing up. I have a partial. Catch me without my teeth. It's $1 million story. That's how the media is. What did I see with Donald without makeup? And first of all, if you don't think or knew he was makeup, you haven't been paying attention since the 1980s. Yeah, 80s. I said 80s. What I saw is an old man, like Joe, like myself, like countless other people. I'm too old to run the country, for crying out loud. Where am I? I should talk to my campaign manager. Yes, I have one. And we'll see what's going on. So, the recession.
Your campaign manager took a long vacation?
Yeah. It's here. It's going to be tight. I see they're going to talk about raising taxes here in our community again. So that's what happens when you have inflation and a recession. So last week I saw that they finally moved our friend, not our friend here, but collectively our friend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She was finally moved to a minimum security prison to start her 20-year sentence. Now, if you don't know who Ghislaine is, and you've been living under a rock, let me explain who she is. Ghislaine was the right-hand person for Jeffrey, I didn't commit suicide in a jail cell, Epstein, yeah.
Go
Steen, we'll go Steen. We'll go Steen, this one.
Sure.
She is the only, and we looked it up. I couldn't believe it. I looked it up, I'm like, bullshit. She's the only person that's been convicted of child trafficking, pandering, pimping, whatever you want to call it, with no one being trafficked to. So basically she was convicted on victims that were saying, yeah, I was, with Jeffrey and I was with this person or that person, but no names were ever mentioned. Now, first of all, no names were ever mentioned by Jeffrey because they killed him, okay? If you believe that he committed suicide, broke his neck in a jail cell, the cameras were down and the guards were off playing pinochle somewhere, you got another thing coming. And Ghislaine is she's only alive because I'm pretty sure someone told her, look, you saw what happened to Jeffrey, right? So you need to quiet. And she ain't said a word, has she? Now, the manifest, Pilate's manifest, reads like a who's who of politicians and movie stars and royalty and all sorts of crazy stuff.
A lot of powerful people on those lists.
Whoa, powerful people. Ask Jeff. Oh, you can't. I'm not going to get on the... Bill Clinton's on the list. Donald Trump's on the list. Prince Andrew. Oh, big surprise there. Didn't Prince Andrew already settle? Court settlement? Now, I'm not going to settle anything out of court unless I'm guilty.
Huge
Huge payout.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, he's got a good reputation now.
Oh yeah, Kevin's good.
Wait for it. The Disney Corporation swim lessons for kids. The Disney Corporation swim camp for kids. Wasn't I talking about them damn Disney teabaggers last week anyway? Now they're teabagging their way on to Jeffrey's Island. They're in bed with China. Jesus Christ, Disney. Holy Disney, Batman. God, they're just evil.
Yeah.
So, Ghislaine Maxwell is now doing her minimum security bit.
She's comfortable.
Comfortable, safe,
Safe and comfortable.
keeping her mouth shut.
Warm and well fed.
Boy, man, oh man. Speaking of jail, or not in jail, does everybody remember Lori Loughlin and all her cohorts that they paid to play? Basically, they what they did is they paid USC through donors so that their kids could get preferential treatment, and they got caught. Lori's out. I seen her Lifetime. She's got a new Lifetime movie, looking good. She's looking good. You know, the world is kind of forgiving, you know. I mean, look at, you know, Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart goes to prison for insider trading. And now what is she doing? Martha Stewart is cooking with my bro Snoop. They're baking and waking on the Food Channel every Tuesday morning. So it seems that if you're a celebrity, it's easy to rebound. It's easier than the poor black guy or the poor white guy that gets sent to prison. He doesn't get a Food Channel show with Snoop, nor does he get a Lori Loughlin Lifetime movie. And for those of you that say Lori Loughlin, good, you know, she should have gone to jail, I wouldn't have done that, I call bullshit. I said it, I call bullshit, and I think you're a damn liar. If you're not telling me, I'm telling you right now, if I was rich and had a power and had money, and the guy, a neighbor, Andy, who worked for USC, and he's like, hey, you know, for 30 grand I can get your kid in, check or cash. All my best friends call me cash. So for those holier than thou, who don't think that, you know, they would do that, it's beneath them, she's a criminal, I again call bullshit. If you wouldn't do anything for your kid, and if that, and even, was it against the law? I don't know. They sure convicted her quick, like Martha. What do you think, Snoop? What do you think? They convicted her quick. So, I don't know. I think that I would do the same thing for my kid. If I had the power and money to influence people, academically to let her, I do it.
Yeah.
So, and for those of you that say they wouldn't, I don't believe you. I think you were just giving Lori crap on social media to look at your best, to look good, Karen and Kyle. What else was going on last week? Ooh, the prisoner talks. The prisoner talks. That's right. Today's episode is the prisoner talk between Russia and the United States. Aren't we at fucking proxy war with them right now? How is that working out? In case you missed it, Sergei Lornov. I should know Russian names just because I'm a Red Wings hockey fan. And Anthony Blinken. They are the counterparts. Blinken is our secretary. What is he?
Isn't he like one of the reindeer?
Reindeer Blinky. The reindeer Blinky.
Comet Dasher.
And Sergei are the counterparts. They're in negotiations. The negotiations wrap around 3 people, okay? They've got Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan is a Canadian with United States, British, and Irish citizenship. But he's a Canadian, eh? He's in there in a Russian prison for being a spy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've got 4 different nationalities, citizenships, and you're British and Irish, and they don't get along. Okay, I'm Irish, trust me. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, something's fishy in Denmark. Was he in Denmark? They also have Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is an American women's basketball player who is playing in the more lucrative Russian leagues. She was arrested for an 1/8 of a gram of cartridge, a vape of cannabis oil. They were like, oh my God, she's trafficking. Trafficking to who? The stoner at Kremlin Square? Jesus Christ, that ain't enough to get a fly high. We have Victor Bout. Victor Bout. Doesn't he sound like a bad guy? Victor Bout is an arms dealer, a Russian arms dealer who has served 11 years of a 25-year sentence. Now, you might be saying, well, I know who Brittany is, and I didn't know who Paul was, but now I know he's really a spy. Who's this Victor dude? Ha! Go on your movie collection, your Netflix, your Hulu, all the networks. Anything. Google the movie Lords of War starring Nicolas Cage as Victor Bout. Yes, it's a movie by Nicolas Cage about the life story of Victor Bout. So if you really want to know what's going on, who better to trust than Nicolas Cage? You can trust Nick, right? Okay. So the deal's going back, the deal's, stagnating. People are making the comments, well, Brittany Griner, she protested the national anthem, and she should just rot in a Russian prison. Fucking really? For protesting at the national anthem, that's such sacred event that we can't do anything. Now, the First Amendment, correct me if I'm wrong, guarantees the freedom of speech. freedom of assembly. Put those two together, and you have the black men raising their fist in the Mexico City Games in 1968. You have Colin Kaepernick kneeling. You don't mind protesting. You just don't want them protesting that offends you. I'm sorry if they hurt your feelings by protesting at that such sacred event that you know, it's a national anthem before a sporting event. Half the crowd's freaking drunk. They got kids screaming. Don't make a big deal out of it. Oh, yeah, she should rot in the Russian prison because, she didn't put her hand over her heart. And I think that you have a First Amendment right, but only protest the way I say you can. Victor, he even looks like Nicolas Cage. If you've seen pictures of Victor Bout, he looks like a Nicholas Con Air, Aaron Rodgers in training camp kind of look going on. Watch Lords of War. You will learn all you need to know about Russia and American relations from Nicolas Cage. Man, Andy, the studio's just roasting this morning.
Screaming hot, baby, screaming hot.
I'm drinking hot coffee, sitting under hot lights. Hot damn! We're going to kind of wrap things up a little bit here. Pelosi, still going to Taiwan. China's mad, Taiwan's confused, Pelosi doesn't know why she's even going, the White House is not in agreement, China's like, we're going to get so mad if you go to Taiwan. Hey, shut up. Shut up. Go make some transistor radios or something. Just shut up. I don't know why she's going. She knows that she's stirring the pot. Oh, stay tuned. Saturday night. Did you watch it? The UFC 277. Amanda Nunes. She beat, she beat down Julianne Pena in the bantamweight title, UFC 277. She was a beast. Man. Come in here and kick my ass. Stay anything bad about Amanda Nunes. Yeah, come busting in like the Kool-Aid man. Ho, 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 boom. It's a hell of a fight for her. I seen the studio this morning. I'm coming down, drove by
one of them damn streets.
Coming down one of the one-ways, had to go down around the block to check out how the first Methodist, United Methodist Church is going on. They should have been out of there by, today.
The homeless encampment.
Encampment. It's not as bad as it used to be. Some of the people, they're like, where are we supposed to go? So it seems to be still a problem. It's hot, so I kind of worry about the people that have dogs down there. That's all concrete and cement. So I also saw Saturday, Will Smith put out a video on Instagram or Twitter apologizing to Chris Rock.
Yeah, something.
That was like the most unsincere bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, why don't you just wave that little thing from Men in Black and make us all forget? Because the video make it, and Chris Rock's like, basically in so many words, and you can't blame him. It's like, very unsincere, whatever, apology, whatever.
Pretty stale at that point.
Pretty stale, old. Chris Rock's moved on. We've all moved on. We're giving Will Smith and the Fresh Prince way too much time. We're going to be at the fair Day after tomorrow,
Roasting our butts off.
Wednesday, we have a little script and a little follow. So if you have a booth or if you have somewhere you want us to stop by, we'll be there Wednesday. I already have a couple ideas of places we might show up. So the heat's supposed to be 100. Again, we're going to go later in the afternoon. Of course we are. Can't go in the morning, no, because Cheap Trick ain't playing in the morning. They're playing at 9 at night, so we got to get in there in the evening. I got a ticket for Cheap Trick in row 13. I got like seat 3. So it's like there's 2 people that are beside me. I wonder who they're going to be. Who's going to be with Pipewrench at Cheap Trick? I wonder. You can only wonder. Same old shit's going on in Russia. Putin's getting his butt kicked. He's mad. He's threatening the nuke. He's doing atrocious things. Everybody's complaining. Hey, do you think that war, that proxy war, has anything to do with the recession that we were talking about just a little bit ago? Why, of course it does. We're at war with Russia, whether you know it or not. The only thing we don't have over there is ground troops and an air force. We got everything else. We're in a proxy war, and we're winning. Yay, us! Yay, go, go! Or, I wonder what the prize is. So, I've been reading a lot about what to do in case of a nuclear attack. It's ridiculous. Duck and cover. Go in the basement. Do this. Do that. Go here. Get in your car. Drive to an underground parking garage. Get out of your car. Go under your car. Go through a manhole and duck and cover. None of that fucking stuff is going to save you. Okay? My plans, when the missiles are coming, I told you and I'll tell you again. Got a patio. Got a privacy fence with my dog. Gonna roll up a fatty. Spark it up, sit out on the patio, play with the dog, and watch the light skies light up. Whether I'm there or in the basement in the bathroom, doesn't make a bit of difference. So, are we getting to that point? I've been saying we're at that point since what? Second day of Putin? Hopefully he's just dying and old and infirm and we're done. We're going to be at the fair on day after tomorrow. We are going to be at rides, midways, visiting booths, doing concerts. So we will be that. It's a heat wave. I hate reminding you people, but you're not listening, nor do you even care. If it's hot out, you do not need to take your kids, nor do you need to take your dogs any freaking place at all. Okay? Leave them at home. Leave them for the air conditioning. Oh, shit. We got to give a big shout out this morning for, his name is Willis H. Carrier. A big shout out before we go for Willis.
Yep.
What you talking about, Willis H. Carrier is an aircraft carrier. Who is Willis, you say? Willis invented freaking air conditioning, and he's the reason that most of us are still alive through this heat wave. So, until next week, everybody, learn to duck and cover, kiss your dog, kiss your dogs, and until next week, have a great one, stay cool, and we will see you later.